Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, I'm bringing you a story that's not for the faint of heart. This is a tale of betrayal, raw desire, and a revenge plot brewed in the shadows. It's based on a real situation, and it will send shivers down your spine as we delve into the darkest corners of marriage and human nature. Join me as we uncover this story, but be warned, what you're about to hear isn't for kids. Christmas Eve, the air was crisp, but the company Christmas party was buzzing with energy. John walked in arm in arm with his wife, Sarah. Sarah was stunning in a figure-hugging red dress, showcasing her alluring curves. But as John looked into her usually loving blue eyes, he noticed a subtle shift. The warmth and affection were gone, replaced by a distant spark, a hidden excitement. As Sarah laughed with colleagues, John's hand brushed against the bare, smooth skin of her neck. A shiver ran down his spine, but not from the cold. It was a faint, unfamiliar scent mingling with Sarah's usual perfume. A masculine fragrance, potent and laced with desire. A gut feeling told John his wife had just spent a heated night with someone else. A night of passion, a night of betrayal. Throughout the party, John tried to maintain composure, but suspicion gnawed at him like a relentless fire, a fire that threatened to consume him. He noticed Sarah constantly glancing at her phone, messages flashing on the screen, secrets being exchanged. When he casually touched her hand, he felt a subtle nervousness, a flinch of avoidance. She was already pulling away. Desperate for answers, John feigned a headache and suggested leaving early. On the drive home, Sarah was uncharacteristically quiet. Her gaze fixed out the car window, lost in thought, her lips slightly pursed as if suppressing a secret smile. Back home, John pretended to be exhausted and went to bed first. A calculated move, a strategic retreat. He lay still, feigning sleep, but his ears were strained, listening for any sound from outside the bedroom. He needed confirmation. Then he heard Sarah enter the room, soft footsteps, the door clicking shut. A finality, a sense of closure. And then hushed whispers on the phone, the truth about to be revealed. John held his breath, straining to catch every word, each syllable, a nail in the coffin of their marriage. "John, yeah, I'm home. Sorry I can't come back, even though I was still ready for round 2. I'll make it up to you next time." Those sweet, sensual words hit John like a physical blow. A punch to the gut, a shattering of trust. He understood everything, the stolen glances, the secret messages, the unfamiliar scent. His wife, the woman he loved and trusted, had betrayed him blatantly, a cruel, calculated act. Jealousy and pain surged through him, but John suppressed it all. He wouldn't make a scene, not yet. He wanted revenge, a sweet and bitter payback, a dish best served cold. In the days that followed, John played the role of the perfect husband, a charade, a mask of normalcy. He made Sarah coffee, asked about her day, even kissed her goodbye each morning, each gesture a lie, each touch a betrayal in itself. But inside, the fire of revenge was burning fiercely, hotter, brighter, more determined than ever. He began to plot, meticulously, carefully, ruthlessly. He investigated John, his wife's brazen lover. He needed to know his weaknesses, his vulnerabilities. He worked in the same building as Sarah, a womanizing show-off with a slick appearance, a perfect target. John also sought out Lola, a notorious night queen in certain circles, a specialist in desires, a master of deception. Lola wasn't just any escort, she was a role-playing and revenge specialist, exactly what John needed. John hired Lola to pose as a maid with specific instructions, precise, detailed, and cold. Seduce John, film their encounter, and skip any protection. He wanted to ensure maximum damage, maximum humiliation. He wanted John to pay for his audacity, and he wanted Sarah to taste the pain she had inflicted on him, a pain that would linger long after the act. The trap was set perfectly, flawlessly, meticulously, irresistibly. John borrowed Sarah's phone, found John's number in her messages, and sent a tempting invitation to a private party for VIPs. Bait expertly crafted. John, with his lustful nature and overconfidence, eagerly fell into the snare, hook, line, and sinker. On the night of the rendezvous, Lola arrived in a provocative French-maid outfit, a vision of forbidden desire, a temptation impossible to resist. Long legs encased in fishnet stockings, her ample breasts barely concealed by the sheer lace, she was the embodiment of sin. Just 10 minutes later, John arrived too, eager, unsuspecting, doomed. He was no match for Lola's allure, oblivious to the elaborate setup he was walking into, a web of deceit woven just for him. Lola played her role flawlessly, a performance worthy of an Oscar, a masterpiece of seduction. She seduced John with sweet words, suggestive touches, and passionate kisses, a siren song luring him to his doom. Soon they were entangled in the opulent apartment, abandoning all pretense of morality and reason, lost in a moment of fleeting pleasure, a moment that would cost them dearly. The hidden cameras captured everything. Every touch, every whisper, every stolen glance. At the peak of John's pleasure, Lola whispered in his ear, "Smile for the naughty housewife who's watching." A final, cruel twist of the knife. 2 days later, Christmas Eve, John gave Sarah a gift. A Trojan horse, a beautifully wrapped weapon. A small USB drive, containing the evidence, the truth, the destruction of their life together. When Sarah plugged it into the TV and the humiliating images of her and John flashed across the screen, her face drained of color. Shock, horror, and disbelief washed over her. She couldn't believe her eyes. The evidence was undeniable, the betrayal undeniable. The raw, brutal truth was laid bare, exposed, inescapable, unforgivable. John didn't say a word. His silence spoke volumes, a deafening condemnation. He simply walked away, leaving her to face the consequences, to wallow in her shame, to understand the magnitude of her actions. But that was just the beginning of his punishment, the first act in a carefully orchestrated play of revenge. John changed the house locks, packed Sarah's belongings, and sent them back to her. A finality, a clean break, a point of no return. He leaked a short, cleverly blurred video clip online and to company forums. A public shaming, a destruction of reputations. He exposed the truth for everyone to see, for everyone to judge. John was fired, his reputation ruined. A pariah, an outcast, unemployable. Sarah was ostracized by colleagues, her career spiraling downward. Her golden image tarnished, her future uncertain. And as a gift final, Sarah discovered she had contracted an STD, a physical manifestation of her sin, a lasting reminder of her betrayal, a cruel irony. A consequence of her sinful night with John and Lola, a biological weapon, delivered with devastating precision. John and Sarah's marriage shattered, beyond repair, beyond redemption, beyond forgiveness. John divorced her, left their old city, started a new life, a clean slate, a fresh start, a chance at peace. He no longer harbored hatred. The revenge had run its course, the anger had subsided. Only a cold resolve remained, a determination to build a future without her, a life free from her deceit. As for Sarah, she paid a heavy price for her betrayal and lust, a debt she would continue to repay for a long time. She lost everything, her husband, her career, her reputation, and even her health, a complete and utter destruction. The story of John and Sarah is a stark warning about fidelity and the devastating consequences of betrayal, a cautionary tale, a lesson in morality. John's revenge might seem cruel to some, but was it deserved considering what Sarah put him through? A question of justice, a matter of perspective. How much damage can lust and infidelity inflict on a once loving relationship? A destructive force, a corrosive poison. And is it ever too late for forgiveness and healing? A glimmer of hope, a possibility of redemption, but perhaps not for everyone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss the complexities, the nuances, the moral ambiguities. And if you found this story gripping, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more dramatic and suspenseful tales. Your support means the world. It helps me bring you more stories like this.